it's time, it's overdue, past time for me to update my disclaimer messages, my disclaimer opening, because you here's the problem. I can't share information for others to learn from without teaching the idiots running this country. That could possibly, quite possibly, be one of the reasons why I'm still alive. But I'm trying to remain relevant, so they don't kill me. I don't care. They've already destroyed my life over the past 10 years. But my first 50 years were, you know, had its. I explain it like this: I have lived a life that is above and beyond your wildest dreams, and simultaneously it was beyond your worst nightmares. So that's the I forget what that law is. It's equal and opposites, you know, yin and yang. But it doesn't need a label. It's you know, it's divine providence is what it really is. It's divine providence. There we go. That'll piss off some of you politicians who don't worship. Oh yeah, you worship God, but not my God. And you worship a Messiah that's not my Messiah. So, anyways, I'm not giving out legal advice. I'm just giving out educational uh, suggestions, for doing proper research and verification information that you are getting, and yeah, and hope and share my personal experiences, my successes and my disaster pieces. You know, so I'm gonna put this in the beginning of this video that you're watching right now, and then I'll go to work on all the other stuff. I can't fix anything without, you know, no one. You can't fix things without God's help. First and foremost, whether you believe in Him or not, you better look into that because, well, you still got time. Because I'm telling you what, watch this clip right here. Unbelievable mess. Again, I can't even believe I said this. Unbelievable. Typical mess with these comfortable liars who can't seem to tell the truth about anything. Out of the Dayton VA HUD VASH team. Jeez. Welcome to the Dayton VA Medical Center. If you are having a medical or mental health emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Wait while I transfer your call. Hello, you've reached the voicemail of Brian Valerian, HUD VASH case manager at the Dayton VA. If you are having a medical or mental health emergency, hang up and dial 911. If you are having thoughts of suicide, please hang up and dial 988. Then press 1 at the prompt to reach the Veterans Crisis Line. That number again is 988, then press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line. Remember, voicemail is not to be used for urgent communication. If this is not urgent, please leave a brief message and I will return your call when I am able. Thank you. Bye. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options. Hey Ryan, this is Donald Faulkner. Man,
this is, I spoke, like I said yesterday, I spoke to Simon, the realtor, and, he asked me, he does what I do. He asks questions he already knows the answer to see if you're telling the truth, you know, and, I passed the test, I don't lie to anyone. Um, so I would like to schedule an appointment to. I mean, you guys play musical chairs down there. I don't know if I, most of the time it's Carly that's calling me, so I'm thinking maybe I should just call her. But let's go ahead and have a meeting with you, Carly, and Edith Thompson, and I'll bring a little zip drive with all the information that we need to discuss that we can put in the computer and have a look at, because none of the things that I've been told about this property or this move as is the truth. You know, Carly told me that you guys were going to get me a voucher for furniture because I don't have any furniture, and because of this mess. And then after you start having a little bit of success, that changed to, oh well, we'll give you a list of um, um, places where you can contact them and get furniture. And I never got that even. I never even got the email about that. And that's not what you said, Carly. Carla, whatever your name is. I'm sorry. I'm real bad with names. But you know, and I went into the rental portal, and I see that the rent is $1,000 instead of 800 and some dollars, like you told me, Carla. So, and I've got all that. Unfortunately, you guys make it necessary to record every conversation, and this is a typical example. So I'm going to edit those two things out of the conversations that I have. I'm going to load them onto a zip drive, and I want to have a conference with you guys about this because $1,000 isn't what you told me, and $1,000 is out of my price range. So, and I don't want to contact this landlord and tell them that, because he asked me if I can afford to pay for the dog. It's a $50 monthly dog fee, a $200 deposit, and a $50 a month dog fee. Man, what a waste of time. This is all a waste of time. More because you guys don't know how to ask questions and you don't know how to tell the truth. Why is that, man? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And you don't feel like you have to tell the truth, and you don't ever admit that you're not telling the truth. I'm not even mad about this stuff anymore because I'm not surprised. I look forward to hearing from you whenever you have the permission to call me, Ryan. Ask your mommy if you could call me, please. I mean, I hate to be a smartass, but come on, man. This has got to be ridiculous. I leave a message in the morning and I get a call at the end of the day or maybe the next day. Rod and Becky have discriminated against me because of my religion.
You are approaching the maximum length for a recording. Finish your recording after the tone.
They have discriminated me after discussing my religion with them and their atheism. And Anita Chisholm, the girl that lives across the courtyard here.
The maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. To
Of course. I'm going to have to call, I'm going to have to get all this evidence together and make another OIG complaint. You know, I tried to get this in on the court. You know, none of these even investigators know how to do any investigation. I got to do their work for them. None of these people at the VA or the Public Housing Authority know how to do their job. So I'm going to, it's Saturday, and I got all weekend to sit around and do nothing. And 100 and some days into this disaster piece. I mean, when, you know, there is no protection for people. And that's the purpose of these videos I'm showing you. You know, it's really not very encouraging, I know, but you know, where does our personal health and well-being come into play with these organizations? Nowhere. You know, there's no one that's standing up for the poor people, or you know, I don't just want to say poor, you know, poor disabled people, you know. People that are their taxes go to foreign countries and everywhere, but on to our into our communities. You know, when does it end? The only way it ends is if we all stand up and say, you know what, we're tired of this. This isn't what we voted for. You know, this isn't what we pay our taxes to. You know, we don't pay our taxes to make elected officials have exorbitant, ridiculous salaries and do nothing for us. It's all for them. And I've proven that, and I mean, there's just no doubt about it. And if I'm just one person going through all this, fortunately, I've been blessed with the intellect that I can recognize everything that's going on, you know, and I feel for my fellow man who doesn't see it, you know. You know, there's a lot of people that don't recognize what, you know, fraud is going on in their lives, you know. Student loan debt, you know, there's all kinds of fraud right there, you know, and collections, you know. I mean, I could sit here all day and make a 10-hour video about the corruption that I've gone through. So if I'm going through that much corruption, imagine what Americans are going through daily, and they don't even see it. They can't even see it, you know. And I'll bet a lot of people don't want to see it. So I'm going to keep posting veteran housing auditor videos and keep posting America's broken public housing system videos, and you know, I hope it does somebody some good. You know, I'm not doing this because I'm mad anymore. I'm doing this because I'm not surprised anymore. And I haven't been surprised for a long time. The Social Security Administration. A lot of people don't even know how Social Security is supposed to be administered. You know, it goes through the Department of Health and Human Services, and what happens is they have something. Last time I looked at it, it was something like 11 agencies that oversee like 115 programs. So what they've done, Social Security was set up to be employment pension plans for everybody, okay? But what they do is, an underemployment pension, um, fiduciary responsibility, there's a very strict fiduciary responsibility in administering that. So what they do, they throw it into um, the category of charitable uh, charities, and it's not charity, it's pension, it's employment pension insurance, okay? But they put it in these programs, these charitable programs like food stamps and welfare and all that stuff. So that way they can, it falls under charitable, charity fiduciary responsibilities, which is next to nothing, and that's how they launder a bunch of money. 501c corporations, and they're farming out all this stuff to these um, um, NGOs, and they're getting fat. All of their wallets are getting fat. They finance the side of every conflict. They create problems so they can solve problems. Pretend to solve problems. It's just ridiculous, and I've proven that time and time again. And no one who investigates any of this stuff is going to do anything about it. I just went through, all this stuff that I was going through with this, with the landlord extortion, trying to extort money using fear and intimidation and violence in my home. I went to court. They weren't hearing it. No lawyer has the integrity and on the planet to go against the government, because they have a duty to the state. Okay, I'm not going to go into that, but this, you're supposed to, under the Constitution that we're supposed to have, you are supposed to have protections. You in the judiciary, in the judicial branch, there's supposed to be equal access to the law. Well, poor people can't get the same access as rich people, so there you go. It's not equal justice. And that's why they want people like me and you in a position where we can't hire an attorney. Under the United States Code, there's an exemption on everything in there for corporate entities. But see, if you don't know how it works, you don't know how to get into the equal employment opportunity. I should do a video on that, but most people won't even look at it. Most people can't understand it, and most people will just blow it off like it's, they don't have the courage to defend themselves, and that's really not worth my time putting all that out there. That's why I had all these videos. I mean, I still got them. I still have these videos, but the response I got from it, one or two, 5 to 10 people wanting to learn this stuff, it's not worth my time. I would have to start charging money for that, to even make it worthwhile, because it's a lot of work. Law books ain't cheap. Federal Rules of Civil Procedures, like a $300, maybe $500 book now. I mean, I've got the latest edition, and it was not cheap, Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, same thing. And you look at Black's Law Dictionary, or I mean, there's much better ones than that, Bouvier and others. They're ridiculous. They're priced like that, just like I said about lawyers. They don't want you having access to the laws that protect you, the secret laws. You know, if the law were authentic, there would be one book, and that's it. Okay, so I mean, there's prima facie evidence of fraud right there. You got several. You look at dictionaries. If dictionaries, if if the dictionaries weren't being manipulated, and all the language wasn't being manipulated by lawyers, um, there would be one dictionary. There wouldn't be multiple dictionaries, and you wouldn't have to learn about etymology and all these semantics. You know, it would be one definition for the word, and you know, but the English language is so ambiguous that you can change the order of the words in a sentence, and change the whole definition. I mean, you could move the five words around in the order that they are in the sentence, and change the whole meaning of it. Or you can add a and the to a sentence, and alter everything all together again. I mean, so, and it was made that way by design. You know, before they created this language, our language was from right to left. All words were written right to left. So look into that. Look into that. That'd be a really good place for you to start right there. Look into the language and the history of our language, because you've got to be able to communicate with these people in their language in order to win. And that's how I started winning in court, because I saw that the language that they're using is commercial, and when they create a law, the preamble tells you what the intent of the people that drafted this law or whatever. That tells you what the intent and the purpose of that law, or the set of laws in that section, are supposed to be about. It tells you what the definitions are, because they're not only do you have semantics, grammar semantics when it comes to law, you have commercial law rules that changes the whole game. Okay, when you start using contract law and applying it to the people, that's where we are, because we're people. The word people is the living, and person is the dead or missing, and property is a thing. So when you look at the preambles to the 13th and 14th Amendment, and they use those three words in a sequence under commercial construct, they are, of course, going to, I mean, they're lawyers, okay? They're going to say that construct allows those three words to share the same definition. So automatically, you know that they're going to revert to property. And that word association construct in the preambles of the 13th and 14th Amendment allows the living, the lost, and the dead, and property to share the same definition. So they've reverted to property. When you read law, it's for property. It's not for man, which tells you that it's not the Constitution. The Constitution is the law of the land. Okay, with your feet on the ground, you're a living, breathing person. When you're under an admiralty maritime jurisdiction, it's the law of the water. So you are in a commercial, you're a commercial entity. You're a fictional corporation who, on paper, has volunteered with your birth certificate, fraud, and your Social Security card that you have volunteered. You are those are banking authorization cards. They're bar cards. That's what a bar card is. So your banking authorized representative, and they're using your exemption under the Constitution to enslave you. I mean, it's harder to, I guess it's harder for some people to understand if you don't explain it, multiple times and answer questions and stuff like that. But it's really just that simple, though. On Article 2, Section 3, court and jurisdiction is the only jurisdiction that they had to have in case they actually had to deal with the living. Okay, Article 2, Section 3 jurisdiction is the only jurisdiction that can actually hear and communicate with the living. Okay, so, and a lot of people have a hard time understanding that concept because they can't picture themselves as a dead piece of property. And when you look at your birth certificate, every birth certificate says file 116 on it. And when you look at your birth certificate, all that is a warehouse receipt. Okay, it has your name in all capital letters, your mom and dad's name in all capital letters, your age, your date of birth, and that's it. There's no information about you on there because when the state registrar signs your certificate of live birth, which is what your parents are signing when you're born, and the maternity ward of the state, he takes that certificate of live birth and puts it in a file and probates your estate as lost at sea, dead or lost at sea. So you're probated dead at birth. And if you look at the CUSIP numbers, the red numbers on the birth certificate, that's where your actual file is in file 116. That's the location of where your certificate of live birth is. It's quite a process to, it's gotten a lot simpler to correct your status, correct your citizenship. You can be an American or you can be a U.S. citizen, but you cannot be both. It's impossible. When you are a U.S. citizen, you are under the control of the laws of the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., which has never been legislated as part of the United States. But they get by with this tyranny because of implied consent. The evidence is everywhere of the tyranny and corruption. Because we're not standing up and complaining about it, it will never change. And I'm not inciting violence or unlawful. It's not unlawful. It's in the Constitution, But that's the trick of the trick bag right there. You know, you're considered a piece of property without any rights. So, you know, in order to get those back, you got to stand up and take them back. You know, and you can't vote yourself out of tyranny. You can't just uh, pray for it to go away. You can't just wait for someone else to do it. You have to do it for yourself. You got to do it for your children and your grandchildren, and you should have already been homeschooling your children, because that's where all this stuff gets turned around in their heads. You know, and they've been doing that for a very long time. You know, and I tried to I tried to explain to my oldest daughter, uh, you know, why I'm, you know, she hates when I say this, especially in front of my grandchildren, which she don't let me around because of this stuff right now anyway. When I say, you know, I'm glad that I slept through high school, and I really, truly am glad that I slept through high school, because I missed all that indoctrination. High school was boring for me because I was, you know, they back when I was a kid, they didn't have. I mean, it was very rare that they saw someone who was way ahead of the class. You know, when I was born in this. Oh, I'm sorry, I was born in Fort Campbell Army Hospital in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, but all of the smart briar hoppers moved up here to Dayton so they could work at GM, General Motors. So um, I went to school. I've lived on East and West Fairview. I've lived on Emerson, Malvern, Linda Vista, and that's just in this neighborhood over the years. But I started school at E.J. Brown School. It's right down the street. And when I was in second grade, they had me going to the fourth, fifth, and sixth grade classes and reading books to them. You know, and how that fell apart after that, I don't know. You know, moving around from you know school to school, you know, through divorces and stuff like that. Somewhere they missed all that. You know, because my grades changed. You know, my grades, my attitude, my life. When I started getting abused, today they would see that and they would come in and take the kids. They're not going to fix it. The kids aren't going to get fixed. They're going to start generating revenue and you know, get your kids put your dad in jail and get you on food stamps and welfare. How many of you know exactly what I'm talking about? Too many. And that needs to stop. Our children are the only thing that we have. And the system has destroyed every family that I know. It's destroyed my entire life because I never got to be a part of my kid's childhood, you know. And here's how ADC, food stamps, aid dependent children, and all that works. When you sign up for that stuff, they make you sign up for child support. And when you sign for child support, you have to sign a piece of paper that says you will help them prosecute the dad. You're bound to help them ruin your own family. Destroy your own family just so you can eat. And that's a fact. If you are on child support, you need to look at the Social Security Act of 1975, Title 4D. read it. You need to read every line of that to see what they're doing, because the family, when you are bound up in this contract scheme, um, they keep you, the mother and father, from, they got you bickering and fighting, so you can't see what they're doing, okay? When you're paying child support, it varies from state to state, but only 65, 60% of every penny actually goes to the child. Maybe even, and sometimes even as low as only 40% of the money going into the system actually goes to the welfare of the child. Well, where does the rest of the money go, you say? Well, it goes into the clerk's office, it goes into the judge's office, and not only that, but the federal government has grant money incentives. Once so much child support is generated, they reward the court, the judge, with federal grant money. Okay? Look this all up. I have no reason to deceive you. It's in the Social Security Act, Title 4D, about child support. And they get lots of money for this. And the fine print of that, all of that, you gotta look at the whole thing. Like I said, you gotta read every word of that. And you'll see that, like here where I live, the counties, they have the Fatherhood Project and all this stuff. But when you look at Title 4D and you go down and it says, they've got drug treatment, domestic violence, they're making money off of all of this stuff, okay? Domestic violence, drug treatment, and all that stuff. And the fine print of the child support information, it says that they lose that federal grant money if they give you any family counseling, abuse, sexual abuse, abuse counseling, drug treatment. They lose that grant money. So you're not getting this. You're not getting those treatments, so you can keep your family together. I made a video for my daughter yesterday. She doesn't talk to me. I don't have Facebook. I have no way to get the information to her. Just hopefully someone that cares about her really cares about her. Tells her that her dad loves her. I gotta quit. Listen, like and share this information, because people need to see this stuff. And maybe they'll get inspired to look at this stuff themselves and stand up. When they see what I'm saying is the truth, you need to. I don't know. I don't have an answer of what to do about it. I've tried everything, and I'm just one guy. I've been doing this for a long time. And back when I started winning in the courts, in the family law court, and all that, all that stuff, it's like everybody will, oh yeah, I'll do anything to get my kids back or this, Okay, well, do this. I created a hashtag, tell 5 people. All the information was attached to the hashtag. All you gotta do is go to that hashtag and complete the first task. If you complete the first set of instructions, which is real simple, all you got to do is take this copy of this affidavit that I created, copy it, paste it, print it, and have have autograph that thing in front of a notary, and it's a done deal. And if you show me that, I will help you. No one ever did that. I mean, at one point I had a Facebook page with, back then you could have 5,000 max in each group. I had 5 groups besides my personal and my political group that were maxed out at 5,000. So, and when they, right before they opened up the, your group capacity to unlimited, I was like, listen, I'm getting ready to I'm getting ready to close all these groups out because I'm not getting any. I'm wasting all my time putting this together, and nobody to this date has done anything. Because I had put this out here in Dayton, Ohio. They had a KKK rally downtown. And I said, listen, I will buy the hats, the t-shirts, and the signs. And all you have to do is you don't have to talk to nobody. I'll do the talking. I wanted to hashtag tell 5 people on the hats, on the shirts, on the sign. That's it. And all you gotta do is come down there and we'll all stand around like that. And somebody from a national news network will come over with a microphone and a camera and find out what that means. Not a single person volunteered to do that. So I shut it all down. Screw you people. You don't want your kids back here. You want me to get your kids back for you. I already spanked these people's behinds and got my money back. Child support money. Remember that Debbie Lieberman, Judy Dodge, Carolyn Rice, Tom, Vicky, Patricia. Yeah, you'll never forget that, will you? And you'll never forgive me. I came down there to your county commission meeting on the December 10th of this year, just recently. And I apologize, a real apology. I didn't come there with the intent of doing that. I had written a script to destroy you like I did before. But I had a change of heart and purpose. I'm no longer mad about any of this. It doesn't do any good. It's not hurting you, it's killing me. So you're not going to win that unless you just come shoot me. I'm sure a lot of you'd like to do that. But, there's too much of a paper trail now, But that's all I got for you today. Hey, the Truth Whisperer hashtag is, and Veteran Housing Auditor hashtag, and America's Broken Public Housing System is where all this information is now. And it's all across the internet. It's everywhere. So you need to help it grow even bigger than that if you care about yourself and your family and your family's futures. Black, white, yellow, red, green, gay, whatever your situation is. A $4 loaf of bread and $4 gallon of milk and a $4 gas, a gallon of gas. It doesn't know what color you are, and you're not getting any discounts on any of that because of the color of your skin. I never bothered to register my American heritage as the indigenous Cherokee Indian. I'm not a victim, I might sound like one, but I'm not playing the victim here. I'm telling you how to put an end to that. So you got the information. Go do it for yourself.